So here we are once again, and this is more of the pendulum work for the author, seeking answers from within to questions that are plaguing your writing, such as plot, character, setting. Certainly you can choose setting using a pendulum, but the last time we talked, or last time I talked, I was going through a character development, and I sort of cast off one particular response as one of the servants from the downstairs of Downton Abbey was representative of my character, and I accepted that without comment. And when I looked at that again, it turned out to be one of those 1 in 20 kind of situations where if I'd thought about it, this was truly a surprising revelation of my character. We'll go into that as soon as we clear the decks here. So we'll do that right now. So let's get some of these badges out of the way that I use for my pendulum fobs. They have unique characteristics that help me with my writing. Let's see, that'll be my dog tags. They go by this wayside. We'll put this aside for right now. That might come in useful later. And again, there I am. My representation is the chakra man. However, let's turn to the page that I was using. Let's see. Here we are. Yes. And the last time we ended up with this fellow being representative of my character. Now, you may not recognize him. Let's just confirm if that's the actual character that I was thinking of, subconsciously, of course. So we'll just set up the pendulum, position it over here, and I'll ask the question. My character's name is Dusty, and he's the striker, of my novel, The Striker. So which of these Downton Abbey figures is most representative of Dusty? Most representative of Dusty. Well, keeps going back to him. Of course, I forced that. You may have noticed. I hope you noticed. Just a move. So, what am I to do with that, however? What is it? What is it about him? Well, of this assemblage of characters downstairs, or even upstairs, we have some secrets. Secrets are confidences that would shame a person. And we know that as far as sexual proclivities go, a couple of the gals had problems there, her. She had the miscarriage. But our hero here, I believe he was a footman. He had a problem with sexuality in that he was homosexual, and in that era that was something that he found loathsome to himself and had a very had problems with it. Now I'm going to ask my pendulum here. Very simple yes/no questions. Is this character's problem the same as my character's problem? In other words, do they both have the shame of hidden sexuality? Do they both have the shame of hidden sexuality? Okay, they both do, and I know that one does, so Dusty must, well, why don't I just ask the question directly? Well, is Dusty gay? Is Dusty gay? Nope. Well, is he susceptible to sexual manipulation by a man? Okay, well, and I do have a character that fits that description quite well, and they get locked in a cell together, so that's a pivotal moment. So what am I to do with this? Well, this is, let's straighten things up again. Okay, now that we're straightened up again, this is where the problem of asking questions of the pyramid, of the pendulum, is that there's no script. There's no step-by-step inquiry that focuses us in, because that would work fine if all the questions were already known and their answers were already known. They aren't. So each question's answer sort of drives the next question. And if I were to anticipate all the questions from all the answers, that would fan out into, a billion different possible answers. And that's fine in its own right. But it doesn't get us down the road of finding particulars about our characters that we want to put into the novel. So in that respect, I have no charted nothing fully graphed out. I've never worked that way, so it's not going to start now. So here we have a problem of what's the next question, and I'm searching for that right now. So let's see, how am I going to resolve that? Dusty. Well, let's just, well, we're going to go down again. So I'm going to try something different. Not right now. This is entirely different. We could do some horoscope work, but I don't see that coming into fruition. That's here, as you can see, are the signs for the various planets and stars, and for the various signs of the zodiac, and they all have their own particular meanings that are quite useful for analysis and characterizations and plotting. But we're not at that point right now, because this is a very advanced reading. This is a simple. That's simple. We've already been there. And we've been to surprise and happiness and anger and how he feels. I'm gonna try this. And I'm going to try a crystal this time. Let's change it up. Let's place the crystal at roughly the spot where would be the axis, or the center of the axes. And I'm going to ask, which of these characters will help Dusty? Which of these characters will help Dusty? Oh, okay. All the way over to here at Daikoku. So let's just consider Daikoku. Fortune protects food, grants wishes, and sees all things. Mahakala, that's another name for that particular figure. Here, let's see if I get him in. And what you see him carrying there is a hammer. A hammer that each time he taps will bring forth gifts and treasures. So let's see what I can do with that. And we'll come back up here. It's possibly not the best session that I've had, but it does show that the difficulty of researching your characters and providing a genuine psyche that fits them, their voice, their manners, their character, and all comes from up here. It's how you see them, and often if you have difficulty expressing them, then the pendulum, my little rock crystal here, can find things that are helpful. You'll find this is going to work well for you. It just takes patience and time, and you've seen me working. It's not easy to find the questions to ask, though, as you can see in my own problems here. So we'll leave it at that. It'll work out fine.